My name is Sophia Dritzis. I work with Donald at the Ontario Chamber of Commerce. I'm a programs manager as well, and my role is primarily doing outreach to colleges and universities, and then working with employers to help them set up accounts and post jobs on our platform. So looking forward to showing you all today how to create a profile on the Discoverability network.
Thank you. And my name's Donald Gusisala. I'm also a program manager with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce at the Discoverability Network. And although I know everybody in this room's already heard me say this, for the benefit of those who are going to be viewing the recording, my primary responsibilities are managing stakeholder relations with community partners, strategic partnership development, and our networking events. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to make sure that I choose the correct PowerPoint. So everybody can see my screen, the sign up to the Discoverability Network?
Yes.
Slide?
Yes.
Okay, great. And just give me a moment to remember to share computer sound because there is a brief video that I'm going to play. Okay, wonderful. And let's make this full screen. Huzzah. Okay, so I'm going to speak briefly about signing up to the Discoverability Network, mainly what the platform is and just what some of the steps are. And then Sophia will go through more of the detailed sign up process and explain how all of that works with lovely visuals to accompany it so everybody can actually see what the step-by-step looks like. So what is the Discoverability Network is a very reasonable question. It is an online job matching platform that was developed by the Ontario Chamber of Commerce with the specific goal of connecting, or rather facilitating connections between inclusive employers and job seekers with disabilities. Being the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, we're concerned with the health of business as well as the health of the labor market. And we've heard from many of the members of the 150 plus chambers that we partner with that the primary barrier to business growth and innovation is a talent shortage. And of course, we're also aware that people with disabilities represent the largest untapped labor market in the province. So we think there's a natural fit there. And the job matching platform will make matches between jobs and job seekers based on fit and appropriateness for the role. There are key terms built into both the employer postings and the job seeker profiles, so nobody has to worry about, trying to figure out what keywords to use and that sort of thing. So the matches will be made based on work history, education history, and skills, as well as job preferences that are in the job seeker's profile and how those overlap and connect with posts from employers as to roles they're hiring for. We also provide free training on a host of disability and employment related topics, such as accommodations and disclosure, job searching with a disability, hiring and retaining a talent with a disability, roadmap to hiring inclusively, and a variety of others. I will not go through all of them. We have nearly 30 of them in our training package. I should also mention, because I forget to lead with this every time, everything is free. I know it says the training is free, but everything is free. Use of the job matching platform by job seekers and employers is free. The training is free, and our networking events are also free. We are planning a series of networking events from October through to March, which are designed to connect employers, job seekers, and employment service providers, really to bring all the stakeholders together so that they can hear some success stories from job seekers with disabilities, or maybe I should say employees with disabilities, because these are people who have found work. As well as resource providers who provide resources and tools for a variety of stakeholders. They could be for employers, they could be for job seekers. And then, of course, hearing from employers who have successfully hired inclusively, so to learn about their practices and processes, how they've done this, and what the impact on their business has been. So there are 4 easy steps to get started. The first one is simply by creating a profile that showcases who you are. So I mentioned skills and work history and education history. You can also list certificates and licenses and any additional qualifications that you have. And all of these will assist with the job matching process. Matches don't have to be 100%. Someone may have the work experience, but not the education. They will still be matched, and the job seeker will be able to see why they've been matched to that job, so they can get a good idea as to where they what they have that the job posting is looking for, and maybe some things they would have to learn. You can use, if you're familiar with Magnet, Magnet is the tech power behind the platform. They're a much larger job matching platform. Discoverability is a community within Magnet. So our community is specifically inclusive employers and job seekers with disabilities, whereas Magnet is any employer and any job seeker. If somebody has a Magnet account, or an Align email address and password, they can use those credentials to log into the Discoverability network. They don't need to create multiple accounts, and that goes both ways. If somebody has a Discoverability network account, they can log into Magnet's general site and use their job matching platform as well, just knowing that the employers on there are not specifically inclusive employers looking to do targeted recruitment of job seekers with disabilities. Align, for people who are not familiar with it, is it's a personality assessment that provides you with information on your dominant personality traits as well as your less dominant ones, strengths, and areas of potential improvement. So it can be useful as an exploratory tool when trying to determine what kind of jobs you might want to pursue, or what kind of industries, or really what your strengths are and how to pursue jobs that are that play to those strengths. But we have more information on Align in other presentations, so I'm not going to dwell on that right now. The second step, once you've created a profile, is to set your job preferences. So this is, where you'd like to work, geographical location, the types of jobs you're looking for, which refers to things like permanent full-time and part-time, contract full-time and part-time, seasonal work, freelance work, internships, as well as what sectors and industries that you're interested in working for. And Sophia is going to get into more detail about this, but generally speaking, when we talk about the job preferences, the broader the array of preferences that are selected, the more matches you're likely to get. If someone just chooses permanent part-time in human resources development, that is very specific. So you're waiting for really one specific type of job to be posted. So we encourage people to select, all the types of jobs they might be interested in, as well as all the sectors that they might be willing to try, because no one is required to apply to all the jobs that they're matched to. So it's better to get matched to more jobs and learn what's out there, because you get a better chance of finding something that you like. So the jobs are not searchable. As I said, the system is a job matching platform. It makes the matches for you, and it does the job searching for you. People will be notified by emails, or if they go into their profile, they'll see notifications as to which jobs they've been matched to. When they receive job invitations, that's really referring to the matches. A job match is considered an invitation to apply. They can review the job posting. They can review why they were matched to the job. As I said, they can see where that overlap is. They can look at the company profile of the employer who posted the role. They can decide whether or not they are interested, and if they are, then they can apply. The profile of the job seeker remains private until they decide to share it. Once they have applied, it will become visible to the employer. And then finally, the employer will review the profile. They might review your application. And if they're interested, obviously, they will connect to set up an interview. And the idea is that with the matches being made based on fit, there's greater chance that an employer is going to be interested should you apply for a job, because they'll know that you already have some of what they're looking for. And here is that brief video I mentioned, which will give a 2-minute sort of overview of the process. And then Sophia will go into a lot more detail about it.
Plan your career and find your next job opportunity. To get started, visit discoverability.network and select I am a job seeker. Choose the region you live in and click Enter Now. If your region isn't listed, choose Ontario. In the top right corner, you'll see a yellow button that says Find Job Opportunities. Click on the button, which takes you to the sign-in page for Discoverability users. If you already have an account, enter your username and password here. If you don't have an account, it's free and easy to set one up. Here's how. Choose Create an Account and select I am a job seeker. Enter your contact information and choose a password. Then go to your email inbox and open the message from Magnet to confirm and activate your account. If you don't see the message right away, check to make sure it didn't end up in your spam folder. Once your account is activated, make sure to fill out your profile information. Upload your resume, enter your work experience and skills, and tell us what kind of job invites you'd like to receive. Be sure to include your fields of interest, preferred job location, and type of position. These details make it easier for employers to find you based on your skills and experience. It also helps you receive resources and tools that are relevant to you as a job seeker. If you need assistance at any time, visit knowledge.magnet.today or contact info@magnet.today. You're ready. When employers post opportunities that match your skills, you'll be notified and invited to apply. Let opportunities find you. Create your free account today.
Okay, so that is the sort of high-level overview of the process. Before Sophia gets started, are there any questions that anyone has on anything that we've just mentioned? I will take the deafening silence as an indication that there are no questions. So Sophia, please go ahead and walk us through the registration and profile optimization.
Perfect. Thanks, Donald. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to go back just to let you know just one small thing that recently just got changed. So when you go to sign in to the Discoverability page, so this is discoverability.network as was shown in the video just now. When you select I'm a job seeker and you choose your region, so I'm just going to choose Ontario and you click enter now. Instead of it saying find job opportunities, it now says, just to make it a little more clear, it says sign in, sign up. So I just wanted to point that out. So you'll notice that instead of find job opportunities. So once we create, once we go into Discoverability and we click that find job opportunities, as it showed in the video, you're going to have to create your account. So again, you click your create an account button there. It's kind of hard to see in this demo, but once you do that, you select create an account as, and you select job seeker, and you'll just fill in all of your information and click sign up. And as it's stated in the video, you're going to get a pop-up that says, please check your email for a confirmation message to activate the account. So once you go and you do that, then you go back and you sign in with the email and the password that you just created. So next, what happens is once you are into the account, once you've activated, this is basically what you're going to see. It'll say, welcome to the Discoverability Network on Magnet. And we're going to have to basically start to fill in some fields now to start creating our profile. So it says, tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to click next. On this screen, it says basic profile information. So it will populate your name and your email from the account you just created on the previous screen. And you'll just basically have to enter in your languages. So if you're fluent, let's say in other languages, obviously you want to enter English first, but if you're fluent in other languages, you can feel free to enter them there. And then you'll have to enter your work eligibility as well. So make sure to put in Canada. Once you do that, you just click save and continue. And then you'll have to consent to this next screen. This is very common on a lot of job posting sites. When you're creating an account, you do have to provide consent. So you would consent to that. And then the next thing that comes up is to upload your resume. So you have two options. You can either upload your resume, either a PDF or a Word document, or you can create your resume like within the system if you don't have one. We recommend uploading a resume just because it's much faster and it will parse a lot of the information into some of the next steps within the profile creation. So I'm going to click upload resume. And then once it uploads, you just click next. And as Donald was mentioning, we'll have to enter our education and work experience. So we can only do one at a time. So we'll start with education. And here it says select or type your school's name. If your school is not in the list, hit enter to add it to your record. So once you click this drop-down menu box, there will be a big list of schools. And as it says, if your school isn't in here, you can just literally start typing and then click enter and it will add your school's name to the list. So let's just say I've typed it all in and now I'm going to click save and continue. You'll just have to enter once you're doing it live. You'll just enter your current status, whether you're a graduate or whatnot. Start and end dates are not required fields, so you can put them in, but not necessarily a requirement. So then you just click save and continue. And now this is the job preferences section that Donald was referring to. So this is very, very important because it helps you get matched to jobs that you're actually interested in. So for example, like job level, like what kind of job level are you looking for? That's things like apprenticeship, contract, internship, permanent full-time, permanent part-time, seasonal, startup, temporary, and so on. So you're just going to basically select the ones that are of interest to you. So the next thing you'd have to do is select your preferred field of work. So again, Donald mentioned this briefly. This is going to be things like the fields that you're interested in. So for example, you see here, some of them are already selected. It says business support services, clerical and administrative, food services, restaurants and catering, retail. There are other options in this dropdown. When you click in here, it'll basically pull them all up and you'll be able to actually select them. The next one, it says select your preferred skilled trade. So this isn't going to be applicable to everyone unless you're in a skilled trade. So skilled trades are things like an electrician or a mechanic or a hairdresser. So if you're not in a skilled trade, then you just leave that blank. The next thing here, it says, where would you like to work? So this is really important too, because this is basically going to allow you to select the locations that you're willing to commute to. So if you click in here, you'll be able to select a bunch of different locations. So let's just say I select Toronto. I can then specify like how many kilometers within the city center that I want to commute to. And I can add as many locations as I want. So once you add your location, you just click the add this location button, and then it gets added to your preference there. The last thing is community preferences. So it says select which communities you would like to receive invitations from. So invitations is job invitations. So as Donald mentioned, communities, so Magnet is the tech power behind the whole system. And Discoverability Network is one of the communities. There's many other communities on Magnet. So you want to make sure that you leave this selected on send me invitations directed at any community, because that way you're not limiting your job invites to just one community. You want to make sure you get as many invitations as possible. So just leave it on that and then click save and continue. Now here it says, great, you've completed your profile, get started. So we're going to click the get started. And a lot of times people think that after they're done that part, that they're done, that they've created their profile, but we are really not done yet. We have to start optimizing our profile now. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So the first thing we want to do is the diversity self-declaration. So if you click continue for more opportunities, Now this is, sorry, the diversity self-declaration. So why this is so important is because, as Donald mentioned, the employers that are connecting with us because Discoverability Network is targeted for job seekers with disabilities. So the employers that are connecting with us are specifically looking to connect with job seekers with disabilities. And oftentimes when they post roles on the Discoverability Network, they're posting them as a diversity target posting. So what that means is when they post it as a diversity target posting, it means that you will receive exclusive job opportunities if you're matched to that job. So that's why the job is actually not posted. It's not searchable on the site. It's because it is an exclusive opportunity that's only sent to job seekers who've self-identified and who are matched to the job. So in order to complete the self-declaration, you just basically go here and you click persons with disabilities. You can even click if you'd like, there's other groups. So, you know, we can say women as well, and then we would save that. So once it saves, then we would go on to the next step. So at this point here, we want to go to click and see our profile, like what we've created so far in our profile. So if I click at the top here, this little empty picture of a face, then I would select my profile. And so what I can do on this screen here is I can add a picture. So I can click the little camera and upload a photo. So I can do the same thing for background. And then now I have a picture. This just makes the profile look a little bit more professional. I know sometimes people don't like putting a picture of themselves, so you can do something like this or find an image that kind of relates to your interests, but just don't leave it blank just because it looks like it's incomplete. After that, the next thing you want to do to start optimizing your profile is to start filling in your work experience skills and industries. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to click Edit Profile. And once I clicked Edit Profile, so it shows me my personal information here, but I'm going to scroll down to where it says work experience, and I'm just going to click the drop down arrow here. And it has some fields that are not filled in here, and it doesn't show that these are required, and that's why sometimes you would miss these, but these are actually really, really important. So industry, as Donald was referring to earlier, we can start to select the industry and the job type and the compensation type of the experience, work experiences you listed on your resume. So for example, this sample resume that I uploaded, the job title was technical support. So if I want to include the industry, you see I clicked in this field here and it brings a huge list of options for me to select. Now, sometimes the industry, the exact industry won't come up as you type it. So for example, I'll show you if I try to type information technology, nothing really comes up. So I have to kind of see what else comes up. So I typed computer, and I think these are a good match. So this one here in particular, computer systems design and services, design, development, support, and consulting, that would be the best match for my technical support role. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then the next thing what I got to do is enter the job duties that I did in this job. So if I click the drop down, the job duties that are going to come up here are going to be based on what I entered as my industry. So just keep that in mind. So I can start to enter now a bunch of things that I did based on this role. So let's just randomly select here for the purpose of our demo. And we'll say that's what I did. Job type, I can say what kind of job this was. So this is important because let's just say some jobs, on your resume were a contract, and sometimes employers are wondering, why did that role end? It was so short, or it was only like 2 months, or whatever the case may be. But this kind of will show that it was a contract job. So you can have the ability to enter that there. And then the last is compensation type. I mean, this isn't really necessary, but you can put that in there. And then we would click save. So now if I go back to my profile, from being like blank before, it's added all this extra information in here. So I've got my job title, my job type, my industry, and the job duties that I had there. So it's all listed here. And again, this is important because, as Donald mentioned, when an employer is posting, they're doing the same thing on their end when they post a job. They're posting what the industry is, and they're posting the kind of job duties that you'd be doing in the role, and skills as well, which I'll get to next. So when you're doing the same thing, once your profile is complete, then this allows you to start actually getting matched behind the scenes to these jobs. So let's do the rest now and add in some skills. So for skills, again, we're just going to click edit your profile. And we can start adding in skills. So skills can be things like, again, this list is very, very extensive. So this is obviously going to be based on the skills you have. So you can just start typing and a lot of things will just start to populate. So I can enter communications. Let's just say because of my background on this sample resume was IT. So I'm going to say data analysis and reporting, a lot of these data management. So I can just kind of keep on going. Can add Microsoft Access and so on. So there's just a ton of skills to enter. So I'm going to save that. And then the next thing here that shows up to add is qualities. Now, qualities isn't something you're actually going to get matched on in the system, but it's a nice to have. I mean, it adds more to your profile. So we still recommend to fill it in. And qualities is things like this: attention to detail, creative, customer oriented, drive, effective communications, and so on. So there's a lot of different options to choose from here, and you can just select your qualities and then save. So now let's go back to our profile and let's just see what has been added in here. Okay, so now we see the skills are added as well as the qualities. So the last thing you want to do to optimize your profile is add in your certifications and licenses. So again, we're going to click this here. And we can just start typing whatever that certification is. So again, it's going to be based on what you have. So let's just say I have my first aid. I will enter that in, enter when I got it. And then I can even put an image of it as well here, and then click save, and then add to my profile. So let's go to the profile now and see, has it been added in? And so you can see it's there now. So I could keep doing that. Obviously, when you're creating your profile, because I'm just doing this for our demo today, and this is just a sample, I didn't add as much to it. So you might have a lot more to add. So I would recommend that you add all your certifications and licenses here and add much more skills than what I've added as well. And then you're going to want to do the same thing, what I did for work experience, like adding the job type and the industry and the job duties. You're going to want to do that for all of your different work experiences. So that's pretty much like the main thing in terms of how to optimize it. Now I just want to show you what it looks like when you're in your kind of like dashboard, what we call. And before I go to that, does anyone have any questions on the like the optimization part? Okay, I think we're good. So I'll just quickly show you here. So this is basically what it would look like, your dashboard. So you'd see, there would be a box here that says my notifications. This is where you'd kind of be able to see if you have any unread job invitations, your applications that you've made, any messages messages from the community or tweets, social media messages will all be here as well. Another box that's not showing right now just because I'm in the demo site. If let's say the job preferences you set, let's just say you missed out on some potential job matches, it will show you a box under here that's going to say you missed out on these 5 jobs based on your job preferences. And it'll allow you to go and look at those jobs. And if you do like them, then you'd be able to go and change your job preferences based on those jobs to make those changes. And it's very easy to do that. So I'll show you here as well. If we click this box or square with the 9 little boxes and you click jobs, you'll be able to see on the left-hand column here, job preferences. And we can go and make some changes to our job preferences. It'll allow you to do that from that main screen as well. It'll have a direct link to it there. But let's just say you wanted to go and make changes without seeing that there, you'd be able to access that from here. You can also do a job search in the system as well. So you can actually do a job search on Magnet and even Canada Job Bank through your profile. So that's a pretty neat feature. If you've bookmarked any jobs, you'd find them in the bookmark section. You can access your job invites from here as well, any applications. And then files, any files that you've attached, you'll be able to see them all here as well. And you can even add a link. If you have like a website, you can add that all over here. So that's pretty much it. I mean, we just wanted to show you the platform itself, tell you what it is. And, you know, there are many tools, job searching tools out there. This is just another great tool to use. So I hope that you've all found it somewhat valuable and that you will try to create a profile. If anyone needs any assistance with setting up a profile, our colleagues, Elizabeth and Boyan, they can connect with candidates individually to set up a profile if they're having any issues. So just let us know if anyone is interested in that. Actually, we can put the names in the chat, or Donald, if you have the last slide that has the information, we could put that as well. But that's all from me. So does anyone have any questions at this point?
Thank you, Sophia. It looks like an amazing technology. I did have one question. You in that job search feature, you mentioned the job bank. So is that, does the job bank also have that sort of matching capability?
No, it doesn't have, the Canada Job Bank doesn't have that matching capability, but you can still search through there, as far as I understand, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, I guess if nobody has any further questions, then thank you so much for attending today. We do have a couple other sessions coming up as well. So we have a session on disclosure and accommodation and job search and disability. So those will be promoted soon, I believe. Is that correct, Mary?
Yes.
Okay.
The next session is next week, and we've been getting some help from Student Accessibility Services to get the word out on that.
Perfect. So maybe we'll see some of you at those sessions. But again, thank you for attending today. And if you have any questions at all, just don't hesitate to reach out to us. So thanks again for joining us.